good evening and welcome to this week's live chat where we're going to talk about Streamyard. It's a tough one for me because those of you that have been around for a while know that I really loved Streamyard. I thought Streamyard was the best of the browser-based live streaming softwares. And it's not to say it's still not great because the actual software is still really good. But there's been some tumultuous times, shall we say. Now, I've just realized my chat's not on my screen here, so I'm just going to bring that up. There it is. There we go. I can see who's jumping in. So yeah, it's been like this sort of tumultuous time, and there's some people that are really angry, and there's people that are really upset, and then there's other people that are like, I don't see the problem. So, you know, I wanted to have a little talk about some of the things, and then something that I noticed over the weekend that I definitely want to share with you, which may be a bit of a workaround for those of you that are worried about what you're going to move to. So firstly, first person I saw in the chat was Us Plus Dad. Great to see you. Just realized I wore a red shirt and then my background for the comments is red. So let me just quickly change that. There we go. That's a bit better. All these things. I changed it last night specifically thinking I would be wearing a black shirt and then didn't end up wearing a black shirt. That's hilarious. Okay, so let me have a look back here. Livestream Consultants is jumping in. So good to see you. You know what? I did something and now nothing's where I want it. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. All right, Leanne says on this public holiday Monday, it is a public holiday for us here in Australia. It's the King's birthday. Is that right? Have I got the right date? I could be wrong. King's birthday celebration here in Australia. Doug's got a day off work, so he's in the chat as well. Great to see you. Frankie over 50 is here. So good to see you. So good to see you. Gabby Rodriguez is here. Legal Mind. It's not adding. Legal Minded Friends with Karen. So good. Yeah. Morning all from Doug and morning all from me as well. So, I mean, the first thing I want to quickly talk about is, oh, it's not in Perth. Okay, yeah, different states celebrate. It's hilarious. We celebrate the day on different dates. I do want to mention that at the moment, I did actually, believe it or not, put in a goal for my Buy Me a Coffee. Okay. So over here on the Buy Me a Coffee, if you go and click that, you'll see that there is now a goal. It is time for me to seriously replace this chair. And I definitely need some help with that. I have to buy a new laptop. So that's where my money is going at the moment. Oh, for what it's worth, the stream doesn't appear to be working on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. I don't know why it's not working. Who knows? But there's not a lot I can't fix that right now. My brain is too frazzled to jump in and I can't even see anything. Sorry, John, but I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you so much. So over on the Buy Me a Coffee, the money that goes in over there at the moment is going to be going towards a chair. Oh my gosh, my brain today. So if you want to chip in for that, feel free. I would totally appreciate that. Okay, the reason I've got share on my brain is I didn't get my Twitter share in because I've got like some screen share stuff up and I didn't want to mess with it. And so I just was like, I'm not touching anything. Larry is loving my goals. So Larry, here we go.
Yes.
Party time for Larry. Thank you so much, Larry.
Coffee, cappuccino, Jabba. Yes.
So thank you so much. We've got party lights now for when we get it. Chantelle's new throne. Absolutely. So and thank you so much, Larry. I very much appreciate you helping me out with my goals there. And every week, you're amazing. You really are. And so many of you are very generous with your time and your coffees. I very much appreciate it. So I can't avoid this. Look, I'm a little bit out of kilter. I don't like negativity. I don't like speaking about it. I don't like putting it out on the internet. I don't like negativity. unless it's like in jest. Like I'm queen of the negative jokes. Oh, Josephine bought coffee. You may as well have my coffee. I hate coffee. Well, thanks, Josephine. But do you like party lights? So there we go.
Yes.
We'll
Coffee
jump in.
time. Coffee.
Now we'll save a few of these. Like if any more come through for a bit, I will pause them temporarily. We'll still see all the stuff come through, but I'm struggling a little bit because of the negativity, and so I really appreciate the positivity coming through from you. The negativity is, and I'm just going to lay it out there. A few months ago, Streamyard, like this is not news, Streamyard was bought out by a company called Bending Spoons. Bending Spoons, the second I saw that Bending Spoons were buying them out, I thought, oh gosh, because Bending Spoons have a history. They jumped into Filmic Pro. People who were buying annual plans on Filmic Pro were now being charged weekly. They ripped out the guts of Evernote. They ripped out the guts of Meetup. This is what they do. They come into companies that have fantastic communities and they change things so much that they are unrecognizable. So thank you, Haley Hayden. So Frankie over 50, I appreciate that. I'll do party lights extras after I get through. So this is what Bending Spoons does. This is their business model and it works for them. I'm not sure how it works for them, but it works for them. They focus on the new customer churn. That is how they run their business. They have no issues with losing old customers. They work out their bottom line. There'll be those people that will be too afraid to move, that will stay no matter what the price is. There will be those people that are so comfortable. They're like, yeah, it was always going to go up. And they're comfortable, so they're going to stay. And then but they expect a certain percentage of churn, and they bank on it. They bank on new membership churn. So yeah, this is what they do. This is how they run their businesses, or at least what it looks like externally. I have no contacts within the company. Actually, do I want contacts within the company? I don't know. I don't know if I do, I'll be honest. Now, one of the things that recently happened after they took over the company, they sacked a lot of people. They got rid of a lot of their influencer marketing. They sacked a lot of their behind the scenes stuff, so the customer support, engineers, all this sort of stuff. They got rid of a lot of people. So if you are an existing StreamYard customer, you'll now notice that no longer is there a pipeline to help if you are about to go live and need help. That is gone. You could be waiting up to 3 days for a response on anything, and then that response will usually be less than helpful. And I say usually because I am seeing stories and I am seeing comments where people are actually getting some help, just not in the timely manner that we'd become accustomed to with StreamYard, and certainly not from the people we were used to dealing with. I personally loved StreamYard. I loved working with Dan and Dana. I helped out troubleshooting with things. I was able to pre-test some of the new features. And I loved the software and shared it and encouraged everybody to use it, which is one of the problems I'm having right now. Is I know that there's a few users out there who are only on there because I suggested it. Well, I was one of the people. They used my link. I know they used my link. I'm sure they did extra research, but I feel like I suggested it. They're paying for it, and now they're paying for it. So I needed to have this conversation, even though I'm finding it very difficult. So basically, as far as I'm concerned, the guts have been ripped out. As the heart is gone from StreamYard. It is now a money-making machine. And that in essence is not a bad thing. It's just different than what we were used to. They no longer are we kept up to date with what's going on. There's only one person from StreamYard that we're seeing anything from, and that is very rarely and very, I'm going to say wordy. Very wordy, but doesn't actually give us any answers. Oh, hello, Louie Dog. I'm utilizing your camera today, so you can't have it. So yeah, so I'm just gonna have a look in the chat here. Live stream with John Lacey says that all this coffee talk makes me realize I need another latte. Let me just have a sip of my coffee while I'm here. Doug confirm, as a former Filmic Pro user, And oops, sorry. John says, as much as I don't want to add to the negativity, I moved away from this company. I missed what Streamyard was. I miss Gage and Dan. And as a company, it had so much heart. It did. It had so much heart. I mean, it could be translating. I don't know. I don't know if it is, but it could be. It could be. So Home Wrapper Replace says only 14 days from an annual renew on a pro plan. I can't click to cancel, and the software asked me for a reason. I clicked pricing, and they offered me a 25% discount to renew. And this is where I'm going to get into. I'm gonna dig in deep. So let's. Excuse me. I just choked on breathing. So apparently I can't breathe now. So that's cool. That's cool. Breathing is out. Breathing's overrated anyway, right? Okay. Screen share with the circle. So let's have a look here. Let's start with this. This is not the first message that we have received, but this is a message that has come out fairly recently. And it says, first off, thank you for caring so strongly about Streamyard. This is because so many people are so angry. They've received notifications that that their prices, there's double audio. Oh, thank you. Hang on a second. This is a new screen. There we go. Thanks for that. They've received notification that as of their next monthly payment, their bills were going to quadruple, double, whatever their plan was going to be going to. So, sorry, yeah, I set up. Oh, all right. Hopefully we're still on live on YouTube. I just got the notification that it wasn't streaming on LinkedIn just then. That's hilarious. Okay. I'm like, oh, no stressful stuff right now, please. I'm talking about stressful stuff. I don't need extra stressful stuff. All right. Such a pro. So basically all these people were coming out with like their stories of these prices that is going to be happening. Oh, thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. All these prices that are changing, that are, you know, quadrupling or doubling or whatever it is that's going to be happening, and for no real advantages. Okay, so below we're answering the most frequent questions. What are the new plans and pricing? These are the new plans and prices that we're being offered. So I will be moved to advanced when they finally do it. Which as of right now, I'm still on the old pro plan. So everyone will be moved over by September. Hasn't happened. I went on an annual plan, and I don't really want to shake the boat because I actually won my annual plan. So if I, rock the boat too much, I may lose it, because I am seeing people who were on gifted plans losing parts of their gifted plans. I saw I saw someone comment on that. So that is an issue there. So I'm like, let's just leave things alone for right now. But I will be moved up from $35 a month to $88.90 a month, I think is what it works out to be when I move, or if I move. Why are the plans changing their prices? We all know why. Greed. That's why. That's why they're changing. None of us actually care about retention or promoter scores. Do you care about a business's retention or promoter score? I don't, personally. So yeah, and key indicators of customer satisfaction. I can tell you what current customer satisfaction is like. It is in the toilet. So good luck with that. And look at this. So by introducing, try again. Get it in the right spot. There we go. By introducing new plans and prices, we know there's a risk of disappointing valued customers. However, we're convinced these changes will make a healthier business in the long run. So what they mean is they'll make more money. They don't actually care about the existing customer base. And that's a very positive way of spinning that. Will my discount be preserved under the new plans? Yes, it will. If you decide to just move your account from an old plan to a new plan. So you'll get to save your, what is it, 15%, 20%, because it's a 50% increase. So they don't mind losing a few percent by doubling the prices. This is one that bugs me. Why? Oh, hang on. Let me get my box, get my pretty box. Try again. why are the new plans and pricing pages only visible after logging in? I personally think this is an awful business practice. People should be able to see what they're signing up for before they give a company an email address. So I believe that should really be the case. I believe that people should be able to see what they're signing up for before they give an email address. Okay, I think it's totally shady. All right, now next one. Oh, look, I made it big and I forgot it was under the big one. There we go. And I think that is shady. And when will the new features be available? So there's a lot of conversation about they were like, okay, you know, you're going to be able to get dark mode. You're going to be able to get circles. Like, obviously I don't mind a circle. So you're going to be able to get circles. You're going to be able to get all of these sorts of, you know, little things. And they're all little. Nothing is big. And it's all stuff that Streamyard already had in the process, that Streamyard had already mentioned was coming in their weekly thing. So there's nothing new under the sun that they're offering. But the only way you will be able to get access to these new features is once you roll your plan over to their new plan. So I'm on an annual plan. I still so far as yet don't have access to any of these new features. And when will I lose access to premium features if I cancel my subscription? So because they don't want to break any laws, you get to keep it to the end of your subscription period. So that is cool. That is cool. At least they're doing that. Okay. So over the weekend, I did a bit of digging. I did a little bit of stuff and realized that if you just go with a new email address to sign up to a new account, they are offering some deals. So if you really want to stay with Streamyard, you can. But I would definitely look at this as a possibility because these prices are insanely cheap. So you've got massive discounts to nearly as low as what we were paying before the changeover. It's not as low, but it's nearly as low as before they've changed over. And now, I did a bit of digging because I'm like, okay, how many months do you get at this low price? Like, sure, you go and sign up as a new customer. So existing customers, they roll their plan over. If they're on advanced, and I think of advanced because that's what I'd be rolled over to. So I do have my brain does automatically go towards the advanced. But with the advanced, it was going to be jumping from my existing plan. Hang on a second. I'm just finding, I do have a... there we go. So my existing plan was $35.67 a month if I paid yearly, which I did, and that was my existing plan, and that's currently what I'm on. Okay, so the new plan that I would get access to is the advanced. That's what they want to roll me to, which will be $68.99 a month if I pay yearly. Or if you want to pay monthly, it's $88.98 a month. So $90 a month instead of craziness of, you know, like of the $40 a month or $39 a month that you would have paid previously. Now, this blows my mind that if you just go and nab yourself a free Gmail account and go, because this is what I did. New Gmail account, I went in, gave them my email address so I could see the pricing. Now, I couldn't find the exact message, but there was a message from Streamyard, from the Davida, cannot say his last name, I'm sorry, I don't mean to trash people's surnames, from Streamyard that said the reason they put the email addresses behind the wall, the reason they put the pricing behind the wall of the email address is so that they can tailor and offer different pages to different people so they can internally test to see what is better. So what I am seeing may be different to what you see, but I would be definitely be going in and checking that out. If you really want to stick with Streamyard because it's comfortable, because it's easy, and you were having no problems with it, which a lot of people were having no problems, which was great for them. I would not just redo your plan. I would not just roll over and take $88.99 a month on a monthly plan, or even the even the $39. So I wouldn't. Not sorry, even the $68 on a yearly plan. I wouldn't take that. So I was getting all ready to just once my thing finished, I was out. But with these kinds of discounts, do you have to leave? Let me know in the chat. If you were offered this pricing, would you stay? If you were offered very similar, but you have to sign up with a new account. So what I want to talk about, with that is the new account situation. If you start a new account, you will need to make sure you've downloaded all of your video files that you want to keep. The library will disappear. You want to make sure you download any of your graphics, make sure you've got all of those to add into your new account. It is work. But I don't know about other countries, but for a while there in Australia, the only way you were getting decent plans on mobile phones is you had to get up and change, and you had to move. And back in the day, you couldn't even port your number, so you had to make the decision. Now we're having the same problem with private health and things like that, where you have to be willing to just go, it's painful, but I'm going to have to do it to save myself this money. But what I wanted to say, and SMA Sky has nail on the head here, even with the new account, they'll probably increase the price later down the road. So what I did was I actually clicked through. I chose an option and I clicked through. And right here underneath, it says, let me just zoom in here. I agree that I will be charged $240 today, and that my subscription will auto renew at $240 a year until I cancel. So until I cancel. So that to me, and I would make sure that you totally grab screenshots of things like that when you are signing up, because that may be your only protection for down the road. So if you set up a new account on StreamYard, instead of, $431, they're going to give you a discount and bring it down. And this is the core plan. Sorry, I do have my advanced plan. The advanced plan was going to be $827. Now, what I want to say is that I'm currently paying around $428 a year. So even with their discount of 50%, it's still more. Okay? So you have to make these decisions. You have to decide. Frankie over 50 says, I just created the new account and was offered an upgrade to an advanced plan for $1. I did see that. But I didn't click on it, and I didn't grab screenshots of that, because I didn't know if that would mean that you would not be eligible for the welcome offer discount in the long run. And this is the thing that I'm just going to go back through the chat here, because there's been some excellent points through here. Doug's like, so they hike the prices for existing offers and offer the old prices to new signups. Yeah. That was, what the heck, was definitely my thoughts. Well, mine wasn't an age. I thought the EU was hyper strict around consumer protection. I think the EU is, and I think that could be part of the reason why they're doing this all behind email addresses. So they're able to get around it for countries outside of the EU. Me too. Amazing destinations. I absolutely do hate it when they make things higher for the existing customers and the new people. Home Rapid Repair says, so I paid again annual. Excuse me. Sorry. I paid again annual for my pro plan. What does that mean in regards to the new plans? My question for you is, did you get access to the new features? Do you now have access to dark mode, 4K local recordings, all the new offerings? Let me know that, because I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question. I don't know. Because right now, if I go to upgrade my account, I'm still being offered Pro and like all the existing. I don't have the new information on my account at all. So the whole everyone will be rolled over by the end of September didn't actually happen. There's a lot of people in the same boat. And I thought it might have been an Australian thing, but Home Rapid Repair is in the US. So definitely that can be changed in terms of service. It can be. But then you can decide to cancel again. You can make the decision. So you can go in and make that decision again. But in the meantime, you could keep what you're happy with. You could keep the software you're happy with and roll with that. Now let me just have a look here. I grabbed, that's all the screenshots. I think I've shown all my screenshots. Oh, I had some information. They do still have a paid plan, which, a free plan, which I didn't think they would. So I went in, I clicked on, made the new account with the new email address. And rather than sign up to one of the accounts, I X'd out of it, and that put me into the free plan, because there's not a free plan option. There's only core, advanced, and what was the third one? My brain won't give it to me. Is that it? No, that's the old ones. New plans. So, well, no, there we go. Big old fat liar. There is a free core and advanced. I didn't think I saw the free when I was signing up. Only afterwards did it come up as an option. Now, I could be wrong. Excuse me. I could be wrong in that regard, but I don't recall seeing. I thought I saw core, advanced, and I can't click on a button that is on a screenshot. But then there's another one. There's a third option, and I mustn't have grabbed that in a screenshot. Old plans, monthly. No, I mustn't have, like an idiot. Anyway, so let me know. What are you guys thinking? Is this something that you would consider doing to save the money? Like, would you go in and make a new account just to get these pricing? I know I would. If Streamyard was really my best option, if Streamyard was what I was comfortable with, I was nervous about moving, and I didn't want to change, but I also didn't want to pay, I would do this. I would go in and create a new account. That's what I would do. Now, I don't know if there's any rules about that. I haven't been able to find anything saying you can't do it. To me, it just seems like you just need a new email address. So Home Rapid Repair says he's still not sure on his new features yet. Okay. I've met people and coaches online. I prefer to drop them a StreamYard link as a guest because it's so easy. And that's the thing, isn't it? We are so used to it being so easy. Now, I did ask earlier, what am I currently streaming with? And this is Ecamm. Now, I love Ecamm. Ecamm is Mac only software. So if you are not running a Mac OS, so it doesn't work on iOS, it's Mac OS only, then this isn't going to work for you. I actually moved into the Macosphere. Is that a word? It probably is. I feel like I made it up. I'm sure I didn't. I moved into the Macosphere because of the community behind Ecamm. It has a very similar feel to it, but different, but similar to what old StreamYard was. Their Facebook groups are really inclusive. They have some really great conversations. They put out tons of training. It's really good. So if you are a Mac user, I would seriously recommend checking out Ecamm. It is a bit more difficult than StreamYard, and it's not cloud-based. So if you want guests and things like that, you want to make sure that and this is the issue that I'm having. Doug and I are doing like some similar research at the same time. Ecamm is fantastic for what I use Ecamm for. I don't like their guest features, which is one of the things I loved about StreamYard. So anytime I had a guest, I just use StreamYard. So I'm looking at some alternatives. I've got a list that I'm going to be going through and doing some comparisons to. And I'm going to be looking not for my new software. I'm going to be looking for my new guesting software because I really do like Ecamm. I use it a lot. I've been using it a lot for years. And I don't intend to change that. it makes things like these screen shares and stuff so much easier than trying to do that on StreamYard and things like that. And I can have however many camera inputs I want. I'm not limited to 2 on a pro plan and, you know, things like that. So the issues I have is when I have guests. I'm in Australia. Our internet's not great. I want it cloud-based. So StreamYard was perfect for that. So do I just keep StreamYard, you know, on the hook at these lower prices, or do I go and find something else? So for me, because of how the business has done this, I feel it's so shady. I feel it's so shady, honestly. And like, I'm looking for a workaround, sure, but do I actually want this business to get any more of my money? Like that's how it came down to me. Like, was I happy to pay money for Gage and Dan and the team? Absolutely I was. Am I just as happy for that same money or double to go to this company of people? I don't know if I am. I don't know if I am. And while I have choices, I don't think I have to. But if you are the kind of person that really struggles with learning softwares, which I'm not that person. I learnt live streaming on OBS. I can go back to OBS in a heartbeat. But again, it's the same problem. It's a local based software. I will come across the exact same problems when I'm trying to bring in guests. So I'm looking for a cloud-based alternative for when I have guests. So no matter what, I'm going to be paying. There's no way around that for me. I'll be paying because the internet that I have here is not good enough for bringing guests. The Apple ecosystem. I think Macosphere is better than Apple ecosystem. Like, let me know in the chat if you think Apple ecosystem or Macosphere. Livestream with John has said, I was debating getting a Mac as a second computer. I'll try and say the words that he's written. I was debating getting a Mac as a second computer, but I can't imagine paying $50 a month USD for the rest of the time when OBS Studio is free, but that is just me. Yeah, look, I'm a pay a year in advance kind of person. If I get a better deal, I'll pay the advanced. Sorry, I'll pay the annual, not advanced. I'll pay the annual cost to save me a couple of months worth is usually what it boils down to. But absolutely, if OBS is something you are happy to learn, then go in and learn OBS. But if you've got guests you do need, or if you want to multi-stream, there's absolutely ways to do it. There really is. There's ways to do these. OBS has got lots of, because it's open source and free, there's so many people making plugins. There's so much training available for it on YouTube. You've got the gaming careers, you've got Epos Vox. They're my top 2 picks for OBS training. Like, it's free. Dig in, put some sweat equity into it. But if you've got dodgy internet, you're going to come across the same problem. You're not going to be able to multi-stream. You're not going to be able to have guests. And as far as I'm aware, it may have changed, but if your signal goes down with OBS, it's closed. It ends the end viewing experience. Whereas with StreamYard and some of the others, it keeps it open long enough for you to grab a phone and jump in and continue on. And I like having that insurance policy as well. So there are some options out there that are similar. Let me have a look here. Doug, HelloFresh did that to me. With the plan I had when I quit, they offered deals, very shady for long-standing customers. Yeah. I met Dan last year at Vid Summit. The team was so awesome. Yeah. No, Dan wasn't at Vid Summit this year. No, because they were there as part of StreamYard. For anyone that can use OBS and has decent internet, Video Ninja is a free service, I believe, that you can use to bring in guests or other cameras, but I haven't recently used it, so I'm not sure how well it works. Yeah, that's the thing. So John here he uses OBS all the time. He says Video Ninja is pretty good. So these are the things, but the caveat is you have to have decent internet. So because the thing to remember is with these localized, so Ecamm with OBS, these are all on your computers. you have to bring the guest signal into your computer. Your computer puts the display together, so both of your faces on the screen together, and then you also have to push out the signal at the same time. So you got to bring down a video signal, whereas on the cloud, you're going to the cloud, they're going to the cloud, and then the cloud sends it off. So there are, different things. Doug says he personally likes OBS because he likes to dabble. I used OBS for such a long time, and then when I set up my Mac Mini here, I was having problems with OBS and one of my cameras, and it was just not playing. So I haven't tried it again in probably two years. So I really should jump in and try it. So let me know in the chat, would you consider jumping onto Streamyard now, then jumping onto Streamyard now with the new account with the same pricing? Let me know. I'm very curious. John says here, honestly, if you have bad internet, solo streams and our record edited offline content is the way to go. John also lives in Australia, so he feels my pain. I've got much better internet now than I used to. It's a lot more stable, and I do have the ability to multi-stream out even from Ecamm, a couple of streams. But I found that the Ecamm guesting feature itself is a little janky. So, but also you have to have Mac Silicon, which I do, luckily, but not everybody who has a Mac is on Mac Silicon yet. I love StreamYard, even without broadcasting, such as private meetings. I prefer it over Zoom or FaceTime. I agree. I would always have my meetings in StreamYard. Absolutely. They were great. And you could record them and you could save them and send them both to yourself and to your guests, so everyone had access to it. It was just easy. It was just easy. SMA Sky says, good to know. I may have to look into it again. I was using it with an ancient laptop and camera to send a signal from outside to my computer inside. Yeah, I mean, that adds in its own levels of complexity. It really does. But OBS is solid software, and it's been around for a really long time, and you have options. You can make a lot of changes. Here we go. Livestream Consultants is actually talking about it. The bare minimum for upstream for OBS is 720. So if you have 4 megabits per second set outbound and 2 megabits per second, it can work. Did it for 2.5 years until I got cable. And that is true. I was told for many, many years when I very first started live streaming about 8 or 9 years ago that I was not going to be able to live stream because at that particular point I had what's called ADSL Plus in Australia. My download was 5 megabits per second. My upload was 2. And I was told I couldn't live stream. But utilizing being able to change bit rates and customize so much stuff in OBS, I was able to send out a multi-camera stream onto YouTube in 720p, and it is doable. But in saying that, I don't like that experience for guests, so I won't use that for guests. But that's my personal opinion, and you can totally test it out. And you may have, like, I mean, I've got much better internet down now. I've got 100 down and 40 up, so way better than what we had before. So, you know, it's over the years, it has incrementally gotten better. John says, we use the same Video Ninja Room each week for our live show, and the only thing I find is that I have to copy and paste the co-host browser source link each time and double check the audio level. That's some pretty minor stuff right there. Like, really, in the scheme of it is free, that is some pretty minor stuff to have to do. Now, I personally think absolutely check out OBS. If you can, if you have the brain bandwidth and you have the system bandwidth, check out OBS. It is free. You won't need to pay for streaming anymore. But if you're a person who brings on guests regularly and doesn't have the brain bandwidth for it, you may need to keep looking. I feel so much better about this conversation now. This morning I was even talking to my husband about it. I'm like, I don't like this. I feel like I'm having a negative stream. I don't like negative streams, but I need to get this out of my system because I feel that this pricing structure is just predatory is the word I'm looking for. It is predatory. It is preying on the fact that people are too scared to leave their existing plans so they can charge them whatever they want. And I'm seeing people pay it. I am seeing people go, oh, well, this is the price, and that's what they're paying. They're unable to mentally jump to a new software. And I've seen it, like I've seen people come into live stream chats where their old editing software is no longer available and they want that editing software and they want workarounds to make it work on new machines, and it can't be done. So they've just stopped making videos because they could not grasp how to use the new thing. And I get that. I know that's a real issue for some people. But when we're in this world of technology, which if you're on YouTube, you are in a world of technology, whether you think it or not, you need to be ready to jump and to move and to make some decisions on what you're going to do. John's got some suggestions here. Definitely check out the free plans of Restream, OneStream Live. Make sure your setup serves you. And that's a thing, right? Like, should you pour your money into streaming software that makes life easier? Or could you just update your system a little bit and have a system that can do what you need it to do? Could you pay a little bit more monthly for your internet to upgrade your internet plan? I personally can't. I don't have an option for any better internet here. But are you able to, and therefore able to utilize your own things? Home Rapid Repair says, I've blown money on dumber things than my StreamYard subscription. I think you're more responsible than I am. I don't know if responsible is the word. I don't like feeling like I've been ripped off. And so I get grumpy. And then I make dumb decisions based on feelings that I've been ripped off or I've been gypped or you know, taken advantage of. I'll make dumb decisions over how I feel about something. So yeah, there are so many options out there. Like my list of options, let me just look here. I made a list, and I don't know how good they are because I haven't checked them, but so far the ones that I want to check out is Streamlabs Ultra, Prism Live, EVMux, vMix for Windows users. I have an old one, not the new one, but I'll check it out. Check out Restream, OBS, Riverside, and there's a few others. There are options out there. And some of them have free plans, some of them have free trials. But you need to, like, I feel for me, I'm always open to just moving. I'm just like, should I just move? And I think based on like, yeah, sure, you know what? I can keep my plan at the same money by signing up with a new account. But do I want to be working with a company, as in, because I try to recommend my streaming softwares. In the link below, I actually have today included the Streamyard link because I am a Streamyard affiliate. I am an affiliate for Ecamm. I like to share what I'm using. And do I, down the track, want to be the person that suggested to someone to use Streamyard and then they had problems and Streamyard didn't fix it? Is that what I want to be? And I think the answer is no. So even though I'm here showing you that you can go around their dodgy system and get yourself a legitimately cheaper account just by signing up with a new email address, which is not wrong and it's not illegal and there's nothing bad about that. It's not circumvention of any description. But should you have to do that just to get the cheaper pricing? I don't think so. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I was always on the fence between EVMux and StreamYard. I know where I am now. See, I've got my own issues with EVMux. I've got issues with everything. But yeah, there's different things. Everything has its pros and cons. And unfortunately for me, I'm feeling like the cons of StreamYard are starting to outweigh the pros. So yeah, it is. It's definitely something interesting. John says the thing about technology is there's a million ways of doing anything, and overthinkers like me can make themselves crazy with too many options. Pick one and start. John, we are in the same boat. We are in the same boat. He says, I'm an OBS purist, but Streamlabs Ultra subscription has a number of really interesting things in it. I agree with you. I'm very curious about it. And I have had a look into it. So Streamlabs Ultra is currently $149 a year for 1080p streaming. So I'm just like, mate, really? Let me look into it. Now, everyone knows I had issues with Streamlabs when it did its whole Streamlabs OBS thing, right? And when they brought out that website that was a total rip-off of another web, I had my own issues with them. But it's been a couple of years. They did rectify. They have changed what they were doing. And I have to give people the benefit of the doubt, because we all make decisions and we all do things years ago that we change, and we would hope we're being judged now. Okay? And that is the same thing we have to do with Streamyard. Years ago, fantastic service, amazing pricing, and lots of hand-holding for those of us that needed it. Now, none of the above. So, I don't know. So as Doug says, they're on the testing list. And so I've got my list of testing softwares, and they are on the list, and including OBS. I'm going to reinstall a fresh OBS and see what happens there. I'm going to try guesting. I'm going to see how I feel with it, if it's janky, if it's working, if my internet speeds are keeping up with it for a 1080p stream. I don't like streaming under 1080p. So it's definitely one of those things. Doug's written it here. This is exactly my feeling. I think my opinion on Streamlabs as a company is warming up again, because it did. I used Streamlabs OBS for a little while, and I loved it. And then it was in the toilet when they did all of, like, when they did that thing, and then when I found out that OBS had actually asked them to never use OBS in their branding, but they did it anyway. Like, I was really indignant about that. Like, it infected me in what way? None. But I felt bad about it. So I stopped using it. But I've started working with other companies that started off doing something I didn't like, and then over time have changed how they do the things and have remedied. Why can't I do the same for them? Amazing Yacht Destination says, I just saw something on EV Max. They moved the browser source to the highest plan. Well, then I stay with OBS. Yeah, like, you have to think about, like, what is important for you? Like, what is it that makes your streams yours? Do you need widgets? Do you need overlays? Do you need all these different things? And you need to choose the best software for you with those things, okay? You need to do those things. So like for me here on OBS, Ecamm, I have the ability to utilize this. Where is he? There he is. This little box here. I can't see it. This box here. It feels weird. It's in the wrong side. To say, hey, throw me a coffee. I'd love that. It can go towards my chair. And then any of you that do it, and I owe a party lights to Frankie over 50, because she put a coffee in just as I was like getting serious, and I needed to maintain my seriousness. But then when the widget brings up, and it brings a direct overlay in, so I can see when someone's done it, so I can have a party. So in celebration of my Hi-U or Frankie over 50's coffee, we're going to go with the party time.
Yes.
There we go.
Coffee time. Coffee. Cappuccino.
Okay.
Jabba. Yes.
But yeah, so being able to have those widgets for me is nice. I like to be able to have it. Can't have it on StreamYard. It was always an issue. So when I went onto StreamYard, no, I think it's me. I'm getting a message on my end. I think it might be me. My husband's home today, so he's probably using the internet without thinking. So I'm just seeing what I've got open. I've got like a million things open. But yeah, being able to have access to the browser sources, which is how the widget comes in for the coffees, being able to have that as an overlay is important to me now. It never used to be, and it is now because things have changed for me. So you have to think about what it is that makes your stream yours, then find the software that suits that, and then decide, do you need to pay for that software or can you do it for free? Now, we're getting so many phenomenal things as creators for inexpensive or free. We've got DaVinci Resolve, which is, I learned to edit on that when I first started YouTube because it was free back then, and it was a little heavy for my poor old computer, and my computer did die, and I had to build a new computer specifically for being. Oh, here we go. Amazing Yacht Destinations has sent me 3 copies. Thank you for always bringing us the good information. Well, we've got to have a party.
Yes.
Got to have our party lights and our coffee song.
Coffee. Cappuccino. Jamba. Yes.
So, oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. But yeah, it's definitely, you have to make the decisions for yourself. The reason there are so many options is because so many people need something a bit different, and finding the right software for your options is a job you're going to have to do. I can make recommendations, but until you sit down and you utilize the software and you decide, can this work for you as a workflow, it's not going to be the case. Now, John is coming in with the fire today because it is 100% right here. Nerdy people like us love to play with new software, but most people find one thing that they love, which for a lot of people has been, you know, StreamYard for a lot of you. But now you're having to decide what you're going to do. DaVinci is pretty awesome. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. LOL with the lights. Yeah, I'm having some fun. Okay, I went out and splurged. I now have lights that turn on without me having to climb over my desk and hit a button behind them. I'm very excited about it. I got them on ridiculous sale, and I wasn't going to be buying lights until next year, and I, and then they were just ridiculously inexpensive in a sale, so I had to try them. All right, here we go. John in with the devil's advocate. You have 2,000 Australian dollars to spend. Do you run out and buy a Rode video, or do it via hardware, or do you subscribe to X number of years of a subscription service? Well, for me, the Rode video is total overkill. I already have a Rodecaster Pro 2, so I've got audio sorted. I only use 2 cameras. So in this particular setup, I have this camera and I have another camera here for when I'm doing my crafting live streaming. So I have no problems with any of the softwares that I use using 2 cameras. So for me, the Rodecaster is overkill. So I do it via hardware because it is total overkill. Okay. In saying that, if you have a setup that needs multiple more than 2 cameras, because most of the streaming services only allow you to bring in two cameras, unless you're with OBS or Ecamm or vMix, then I would definitely probably think about the Rode video. But for my setup and what I've got, I don't need it. I think it's wonderful that it exists, and I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that it will make a huge difference to. But for me, if I all of a sudden need video switching, I would get an A10 Mini for $400 or $500 or whatever it is, and add in my extra video inputs that way, because I've got the audio sorted already. So I don't know. Let me know in the chat. What would you do? What would you do? What's your devil's advocate run here? Would you get the piece of would you buy the Rode video, or do it with multiple hardware, or subscribe to some software? I personally like hardware. I would do it with the hardware. Oh, it is so pretty. It really is, right? Like, damn you, Rode, for making such gorgeous, streamlined hardware. Like, grr, like Seriously. I'll tell you what I really want. I love my Stream Deck, right? I do. I love my Stream Deck, but I'm a blindy little old lady, and I have to make my Stream Deck icons. I'm just going to bring this up here if I can. Really big so I can see what they are, right? Which means I can't use any of the cutesy little images because it takes me a second to work out what that image does. And I would love for someone to bring out a big Stream Deck with lots of bigger buttons on it so I can see what I'm switching to. That's what I would like. Now, in saying that, I do have the Stream Deck iPad app, which I can't use right now because I was screen sharing, so I've got my chat open on it. But, you know, you've got this, it's definitely like, I've got options. I mean, I can't do it on this phone. Here we go. I've got it here. So I've got the Streamyard app on my phone, which means I can have my big pretty buttons. But if I could have it on not a device that I like, because that's why I couldn't have Louis Cam, because I'm using his camera that I set up with my apps, but with my Stream Deck app. So if I could just have like a big thing that I could just sit on an angle in front of me, like tilted up, so that with big buttons, so that I could just see like the previews of StreamYard, of the screens for switching. That's what I want. That's what I want. Let's have a look here. I've got to go back. Doug wants it anyway. Overkill probably, but I want it anyway. Yeah, look, you know what? If I was to win one, I wouldn't say no to it. Like, seriously, I just don't want to go out and spend the piece of money. I've got other things I need to spend money on. A new laptop and a chair. And that already feels ridiculous that I'm buying those two things in the same year. But I will have self-control. Me too. The YouTube free editing app is not iOS. No, it is not at this stage. It is Android only. Here we go. I think the broader point, which you kind of made earlier, is different people have different preferences. Yes. And look, this is a conversation that comes up over in my yarn crafting community all the time. The reason there are so many brands that can coexist at the same time offering very similar, if not the same services, is because different people prefer a different layout, prefer certain imagery to help them, prefer a different thing that's easy or harder. Or there's little things, there's little differences that make things better or worse for each individual user. And as the individual users, you are the only ones who can decide this. Let me look here. The reason I'm with my streaming platform Melon app is because I'm grandfathered on a plan for life. Can't beat the deal. Absolutely. I grabbed a Melon subscription and I thought it was a lifetime deal as well, but when I went to log in, it's just not. It must have been a year, and the year is out. So for me to jump back in, it's a decision. Do I need it? Do I not need it? I don't know. Yeah, look, that is true, right? Like, I'm not discussing how many I have. Let's just say I could have a few in-person guests, as long as we could all fit at this table, which I can zoom out. As long as we could all fit at this table, we can all be mic'd up. There's no problems. Back in the day, I wanted a video toaster thing. I don't know what that is. Oh, here we go. Doug with Doug, drop your road affiliate just in case, you know, someone may actually want it. And, you know, if anyone gets that road money, it's got to go to Doug, right? It's got to go to Doug. Let's have a look here. Are the buttons larger on the iPad? I'll just switch over here and see if I can open it up to show it to you. Stream Deck, come to me. There we go. Yes, the buttons are larger on the iPad. There we go. The buttons are much larger. And because I've got the full plan, I can actually change this to be, do I just want it? Okay, bring your connection back. I can choose which of the sizes of the do I want. You know, so if I just want 5x3, I can have 5x3. And there's huge big buttons. So technically I have what I want as long as I use the app, which meant purchasing the app, and it's an annual purchase. Admittedly, I was part of the beta testing team, so I've got this, but oh no, can I bring back? I can, good. There we go. Oh, back on there, little thing. Alrighty, yeah, so the buttons are bigger on the iPad. And then they do give you 6 buttons for free. That's right. Absolutely, they do. But I wanted them to match, like, because in the Stream Deck software that you still download on the computer, whether you have the hardware or the software, I wanted them all to match. So I need them to be at least as big as my 15 button. But that's just because of how my brain works, and I like things like that. You don't have to have that. And you can also set each of your devices up. So I've got the iOS app. So on each of the iDevices that I have, which I'm about to snavel another one because my daughter's upgraded her iPhone, I can actually have a different Stream Deck running, like a different profile running on each one. So yeah, double-sized Stream Deck buttons, do it, Elgato. I want it. I'm not planning on more Stream Deck hardware, but if Stream Deck brought out a Stream Deck that was, I think the same width but longer and wider, or similar, you know, a bit wider because to compensate, like still 3 buttons high with whatever the height is, but longer. I would definitely consider throwing money at them. Double-sized Stream Deck buttons. Yeah, we're not all 20-year-old streamers anymore. When are your crafting lives? I never get notified. Okay, so they're always at 10 a.m. Thursdays my time, which would be a Wednesday night for you, but they always start at the same time. Yeah, look, do you know what? And like the reality is I can have what I want on the iPad, but it does mean I have to choose a function for my iPad. Like right now, because my second stream is my my screen share for all those screenshots that I was showing, my iPad is running my a third screen, and it's got my chat on it, just in case. I wasn't sure, like I knew it was Doug's day off, but just in case he wasn't able to be here, I wanted to be able to mod if I could. So I needed that ability. The buttons on my Stream Deck don't work all the time, so I think I need the app. If your buttons don't work all the time, I would be contacting Elgato. But I would definitely suggest trying the app out as well. Can you recommend an easy streaming service? It's a tough one because easy for me may not be easy for you. Right now, I don't have a cloud-based streaming service that I am happy to recommend. If you are a Streamyard user and you don't want to move from Streamyard, like I was saying earlier in the stream, go and sign up with a brand new account and like a brand new email address and see if you can nab one of these welcome offers that they're offering, which is basically back to the old pricing or, you know, similar pricing. It's still a few bucks more, but it's not double. I just don't know at this stage. I haven't, I'm leaning into what I'm seeing from Streamlabs Ultra. The plan that they've got is just, I'm liking what they offer, but I've only run a couple of tests on it and I'm not happy to put my name to, you know, the recommendations yet. But I would definitely recommend checking it out at $149 a year. Go and do your own research for sure. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth a look. iPads are a great additional screen for live streaming, comments, virtual stream deck, soundboard, etc. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think if you've got it, that's an extra screen. I've got 2 screens, right? So I've got my big curved screen here that's running all the eCam, and it's got the screenshot thing that I can click on to bring the screenshots over to my other monitor, which I'm using for my screen share. But usually I don't screen share. So screen sharing is not a big part of what I do a lot, which it's changing. But, and I've already decided that when my big 32-inch curved monitor dies, I'm actually going to replace it with 2 28-inch monitors or something. So I'll have 3 monitors. 3! But it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not dying yet. It maybe is. It's 10 a.m. right now. It is 10 a.m. So basically now, but Wednesday nights is when my live stream on my other channel goes live. Unless it's the Ulanzi stream deck. Oh, Ulanzi, what are you doing? Seriously, like, I'm A-okay with competitors coming in with an alternative option. Ulanzi just seems to have made a stream deck that actually still needs to use Stream Deck software. They don't have their own software. Oh my gosh, yeah, it is. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's cheap. It's not super cheap, but it's cheaper. All right. Good thing we aren't 20-year-old streamers. They crash their cars while trying to. Oh my gosh, I saw that this morning. That is just crazy. That's just crazy. There are a surprising number of Stream Deck alternatives out there, but I don't think the software will be as good. That's the thing. Like, that's where Elgato is kicking everyone's butt, is the software. If you can't just make a piece of hardware anymore, you need to make accompanying software. Right now, I've got newer, these lights here and the lights at the back are newer lights, right? Like NEEWER. They're inexpensive, they're great. I got what I paid for, I'm happy. But one thing I will say is that the newer phone app and the newer desktop app don't play together, if that makes any sense. I cannot, like, changes I make on the desktop don't show on the phone and vice versa. So I can have one totally dialed in and then accidentally use the other app and realize what's going on with my lights here, and then realize, oh, that's right, because I set it up using the desktop system, not using the, and vice versa. They don't play together. And I think that's something that could be that could be a big game changer for them. SMA Sky has said they've got their laptop hooked up to a 24-inch monitor. I put OBS on the monitor and then use the laptop for the YouTube studio, and then the other apps I need going around different screens. That's kind of what I do here with my two usual monitors, because I'm running a Mac Mini. It doesn't have a screen of its own. So I have the one screen that runs all the streaming software, and then the other screen I normally have the live chat and everything on, but not today. Yeah, I'm really hoping there's I mean, he's recorded it. He's got no way out of it. Yeah, I figured it was not what was there. Heck comments. It looks like a classic Stream Deck, but with the two bottom rights, there's a longer button. Not sure about the software. Yeah, I don't know. That's the mic I have, the 8000 or something. Yeah, look, you know what? I'm 100% okay with using some of the cheaper software. I had a big discussion and chat with a friend of mine who runs lighting for productions, like so ads and stuff like that. And we were talking about the difference between cheaper streamer lighting, or in studio, or in someone's home studio lighting versus production lighting. And I was just like, because dude, you are paying thousands of dollars for one light, and I'm like, I want all my lights for less than 500, right? And he said that with some of the lights, especially what's coming out now, and it's not everything obviously, but some of the lights that are coming out now, the only difference is that he has to fold his up and throw them in a truck and move to another site and quickly set them back up again. His are designed to be batted around. Ours just need to be cautiously not thrown in backs of cars and trucks. So for what we're using them for, we don't need the very expensive lights. As long as they do what we need them to do, then that's it. That should be, we don't have to worry about there. Is YouTube Studio good for streaming? If you are doing a stream just like this, just this one shot, no other shots, no screen sharing. I don't think screen sharing is really available. I haven't used it much lately. Then it's fine. But the second you need to start doing anything a little more complicated, and if you want widget overlays, or if you want any of that stuff, it is that's when you start needing alternatives. when we changed to push buttons. I was actually like looking at a post that my mum had commented on Facebook about how someone was talking about this vintage rotary dial phone, and Mum's like, that's not not vintage. What's the word? Antique. And my mum was like, that's not antique, it's a rotary dial phone. And I'm like, Mum, the definition of antique is over 100 years old. She was like, yep. And I'm like, that phone's 120 years old. And she was just like, wait, what? Cheaper options might be good, but you often have to try out multiple examples to find the gem. At some point, you may as well just buy the expensive thing that you know will work. In my situation, I do not need a $3,000 light. I would have to have that thing dialed down to like 1% for it to not kill me. There is no world where I need a $3,000 light. It's going to come down to the individual studio and the individual space. But for my space here, which is a very small room, there is no world where a $3,000 light, unless someone gave it to me and I would find a use for it, I would mount that thing as far away as possible. Yeah, it is definitely overkill. But you can go and pick yourself up a good $500 light that you will have excellent experience with, no problems. But you don't need a $3,000 light. And even saying, I was saving up for 2 Aperture, I can't think of the panel lights that are RGB, but the Aperture brand, because I love Aperture and Aperture are fantastic. But I ended up buying 2 newer lights for $350 total Australian dollars. And I'm just as happy with those, except for the app. The Aperture app and controller would have been way better. So I've saved $650, but I'm not as happy with the app. So yeah. Oh, no, I'm just talking lights. I'm not talking other gear. If you want a decent capture card, buy a Camlink. Like seriously, the $20 capture cards are totally hit and miss. Some of them are fine, but you may have to buy 10 of them first. No, I'm talking about lighting specifically. There are other things that the cheaper version just won't do. A lot of lighting, some microphones. There are always exceptions like the Boya BY M1 lav mics, as long as you get an actual legit one. There's some other brands that are coming in now that are absolutely fine. But again, you've got to pick which one. But I'm talking lighting particularly. I used a wind-up phone that you then told the number to the operator. Oh my gosh. I've seen YouTube live streams use YouTube and they open their phone to share a photo or a video. Yeah. That's definitely how, like, this is the thing, right? And if you have limited funds, I believe you are usually more creative in how you get what you want, right? If you've just got all the money in the world behind you, you're like, yep, I'll just buy the app, or yep, I'll buy the software, or I'll buy the piece of legit equipment, right? If you don't have the money to do it, but you still want the look, you become creative in how you're going to get what you want. And sometimes you have to accept that, no, I can't have it exactly how I want it, but this is good enough. And you have to make those decisions. So I honestly think, like, these people that are using the free softwares like OBS is so creative. Like, I honestly think the only limitation to OBS is the user, right? So do you have like the brain bandwidth to learn something new and you have to go in depth with OBS? There's no surface level, easy level. There's things that you have to go in and do. But if you do that, you get this phenomenal pro level stream. And go, you know what? I should stream using OBS next week. Let's make that a thing. Next week I will stream using OBS. So I'm going to have to install it. I'm going to have to muck around with it because I haven't used it for a while, at least 2 years. I'm sure it's changed, but next week's live stream, I'm not going to use my little comfort zone of Ecamm. I'm going to use OBS. All right. So let's lock that down. That is something that's going to happen. Next week I'll stream with OBS. So yeah, but yeah, definitely you become more creative to work at how to go in and do it. Can you have multiple YouTube studio accounts open? Oh, that's a question for Doug. Good, because I don't know the answer. Excellent. That one's for Doug. Oh yeah, you start scrappy. Use a stack of books as a tripod or a mic. Absolutely, absolutely. You do find a way, you know, and that is absolutely the truth. You start off using the mic in your phone. You start off doing all these things. What you end up with now may in no way resemble what you had 15 years ago. Excuse me. And it's totally how it is. Things change, everything changes, and you need to keep changing with it. OBS is a rocket ship. Most people will only need to learn about 5% of its features. Yeah. I think for this particular stream that I do here, I'll only need like a really small percent of the features. So what I will make sure I do is I'll make sure I set up all my standard things. So I have my starting soon screen, this screen, my be right back screen, my thanks for watching stream, thanks for watching scene, an iPhone share screen, and now my new screen share that I've got now. OBS with a guest, challenge accepted. Doug, if you are free next Monday from around 9 a.m, I would love to have you on as a guest while we test out OBS with a guest. So I'm not going to put you on the spot. You do not need to respond now. I don't know what your working commitments are, but I'm going to throw it out there and you can let me know. I know you technically suggested it, but I'm taking your suggestion and laying it back out for you. Scrappiness. Here we go. And I'm going to bring this one up now, but I want to know your most scrappy thing that you've done for either a live stream or a video. It doesn't have to be a live stream. What's your most scrappy way that you got the shot that you wanted or the sound? I had a microphone stand that couldn't support the weight of my first mic, so I bought a bodybuilding weight from Kmart and put it on the bottom as the counterweight. Oh man, I had a stand that couldn't take the weight of a camera. So I used the weights bag that came free in a light and put cans of baked beans in it. Yes, my web overlays. Yeah, what I'll do is whatever I'm using. So I'll make sure that my buy me a coffee image is there. My buy me a coffee pop-up is there. What else have I got that I use in this stream? So that camera. So I use one camera, the buy me a coffee widgets, the different screens. I will make sure that I sit down and I build it out. That obviously some things might look a little bit different. I'll get on the social stream to bring in comments that way. I'll need to muck around with the guesting feature if I can sort out a guest. Doug says, let's see what my schedule is for next week. No problems at all, Doug. So yeah, we'll go from there. Social Stream Ninja is awesome for bringing in comments. Yeah, well, Doug uses it. I haven't used it yet, but absolutely, Doug uses it. I don't get many people in my stream, so it's not a huge issue. Yeah, look, you know what? And if it works, it works. Like, seriously, if it works, it works. I tend not to change something until either A, it's busted, or B, it's no longer working for me and what I want, right? And I do try this thing in my brain first. Do I want to change it because I just want to change it because sometimes that's a real thing? Or is it no longer able to do what I want it to do? Like, I want this next level thing. This thing can't come with me. Now, can it not come with me because I don't know how to make it come with me and I can learn and therefore bring it? Or can it just physically not do it? Because sometimes that's a real thing too. Home lamps for light, absolutely. My first spend when I first started my YouTube channel was audio, because I had a background history in theater and lighting and sound, and I always knew that the second the audio was out, people were annoyed. They could deal with dodgy lighting, they can't deal with dodgy audio. So I had the dodgiest lighting. I had a massive double-sized screen door or sliding door next to me that just let in full Australian summer sunlight. So I glowed like a ghost, but you could definitely see me. Here we go. Definitely scrappy. Today during a video shoot, a part broke that was visible. I didn't have the spare. I had to make do with what was in the toolbox. The video still looks fine. Yeah. Make and do. Creating, like I was in a conversation on socials with somebody who was talking about, you know, do you get rid of all your extra bits and pieces? Like, so when you build something and they supply you with an Allen key, do you keep it? Like, what do you do with all the extra bits? Like if you're using a road and it's got the table inset bit, but you don't want to drill into your table, so you've got this box with this piece in it. Like, what do you do with it? And I'm like, I keep all the extra bits. I ditch all the extra Allen keys because I've got on my own that are better quality anyway. But I'd keep all the extra bits because the number of times I've been able to jerry rig a thing because I had all these bits. I'm like, it's my amazing box of magic. If you want a powerhouse, streamer.bot. What does that do? I'm not a big fan of bot users, but what does it do? I'm very curious. My first videos, I don't know, I could turn the camera horizontal. I had the camera right in my face. Okay, there you go. But now you do know, so that is cool. I guess I should shop around for the cheapest streaming service. Well, I mean, there's the cheapest and then there's stuff that's free that's actually better than some of the cheap stuff. Honestly, Michael, like seriously, you're a savvy guy. I think you should be checking out OBS. Definitely. My first light was a desk lamp with a posable neck from Bunnings, which is our big box hardware stores. What have you guys got over there? Like big hardware stores of stuff. Buy More? Best Buy? No, I don't know. Buy More. Buy More is from a TV show, but that's okay. Home Depot. That's what I'm looking for. Home Depot. Thank you. Except, here we go. I didn't finish it. I just pointed it at my face, except that it was like staring into the sun. It basically worked. Ah, dear. Let's have a look here. What had a poll option? What have I missed? What's got a poll option? Oh, Social Stream Ninja. Yeah. Yeah, and grab free accounts to test them, because what I like may not be what you like, and what you like might not be what I like in the long run. Definitely test them out for sure. Oh, here we go. So that bot it's a chat, and you can make point system on YouTube similar to Twitch, an action and set of actions. So what sort of actions can it do? I'm just curious. My partner held a flashlight on me, and then I found out about ring lights, and now I use box lights. Yeah, I knew for me ring lights were never going to be an option, at least not in the traditional put your camera in the middle, there's your ring. I have glasses. It's not going to work. I need my lights up and angled down. And that was actually an issue. That was the one thing I did not like about the tabletop stands that came with my new Elgato lights. My newer lights, is I prefer my lights a bit higher. Now, it's a personal preference. They could probably have worked, but we're talking this much lower was the maximum height. And it meant that I could, like, see how I can just look up before the lights? I had to keep length forward and straight. If I even did that, it was the full squares. So different thing, because I have to focus on it, because I wear glasses during my streams. You may not wear glasses, so probably not an issue. Bunnings is great for cheap creator hacks. Oh, yeah, it is. Bunnings is a danger zone for me. Absolutely. Bunnings, stationery shops, $2 stores. So, yeah. Oh, I see the poll and winner draw thing must be new. I don't think that was on there before. So would that be a good alternative? Because, like, one of the things I loved about Streamyard, which I don't think any of the other options have, I could totally be wrong, was their giveaway tool. And the giveaway tool was great in what it does. So an option, if anyone's got a suggestion that could be something for a giveaway tool where people could need to enter. So that bot thing there, that sounded like that had the option for that. Oh no, was it the bot? No, the poll thing. So that's social stream, social. Oh my God, my brain's just melting. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Okay, so actions like buy me a coffee, do your lights and play a sound and change scenes or do anything else you want in OBS. Okay, because of the lights I've got, they don't connect with if this then that, of course, but neither did my other ones. And so I can't have it that if, like, I can't have it do anything with my lights. So, oh, it does. Social Stream Ninja gives you a winner draw too. Okay. I'm definitely checking out Social Stream Ninja for sure. For sure. That sounds good. You would be surprised at what you can make up from the dollar stores for streaming. Oh, look, I wouldn't be surprised because I'm queen of the $2 shop. We have $2 shops in Australia. The $2 shops or the cheapest chips or the crazy bargains or whatever they want to be called. Yeah, absolutely. There's so much good stuff. It's called Waitlist Winner Draw. Let me just write that down. Oh, it's the page of the... I should have just used a scrap and then added it onto my list later. Waitlist. Winner draw. And it's part of Social Stream Ninja. We can test that out next week, right? Here we go. This is what it says. When enabled, guests can type join or a custom command in chat to be added to an ordered list of users. Stop start to reset the queue or draw. So we can choose a winner and it shows their handle for the winner. I would hope. That's there we go. So yeah. All right. I just want to double check. Does anybody have any questions about what I talked about the StreamYard stuff? Does anyone need me to run over anything again? Show any of the slides again? They're not slides. They're screenshots. To go over any of the screenshots again, just let me know. So, because, you know, it was one of those things that I just want to make sure that I've been clear. Obviously, we're pretty clear. We're all talking about some features of some other software. So I'm feeling that let's shift away. And I'm okay with that. But I just want to double check that everyone is in the same, you know, we're all on the same base here. Let's have a look. The poll apparently allows people to vote more than once, but I'm testing it as a channel owner. Okay, yeah, that would be the trick, wouldn't it? Because that was the big thing I loved about the StreamYard one is people could only vote once. I'll definitely be curious. Definitely be curious. I will have a play with that for sure. I'm going to move that to the side. I don't think I need that one anymore. All right, I'm going to have some more coffee. Wait. I was going to send you a screenshot via LinkedIn, but it doesn't look like we're connected. We're not connected on LinkedIn. Are you kidding? I thought we were. I follow you. Maybe. Let me just. I'm definitely following you. There we go. I've sent you a connection request. Off topic. Can I ask something? Yes, you can. Absolutely. You can always ask. I can ignore it. If it's not, depending on how far off topic we're going, but absolutely. Okay, so Streamer Bot is like OBS. It's a tool that can make you do anything, polls, giveaways, everything. All right, I'll check that one out too. Let me just write that one down as well. Streamer Bot. Now, we may not test them all out next week, but I'll be having a look at them all. Essentially, if your StreamYard plan doubles or triples in costs, open a new account with a different email if it's absolutely what you need. Absolutely. And then, at least from my end, I was offered what they're calling the gold welcome offer. And so if you are offered that, it brings the pricing back down to standard pricing. So, oh, Nutty has tutorials on it. All right, I'll check it out. I watch Nutty. So, yeah. How was my Vid Summit? That is a little off topic. Vid Summit was fantastic. My experience of Vid Summit will be very different to most people's experience of Vid Summit because I now work for, or freelance for Daryl Eves. So I went there as staff. So I was working the whole event. I didn't get much time during the day to go and see things or chat with people. I got lots of dinners with friends and catching up with people, which I thought was fantastic. But I had like certain duties that I had to perform while I was there, and that definitely gave me a different experience of Vid Summit. But what I will say is the feeling in that place. Everyone was just so positive. Do you know what I mean? Like there's all this stuff going on in YouTube and in people's lives and all this stuff going on, but the actual buzz of creators chatting with creators, and especially people like me and like a lot of us, where in our real life we don't have creators to talk to every day, or even every week, or even at all for some people. Having thousands of people in the same place as you, on the same journey as you, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal to watch and to see and to be part of. So I highly recommend it. Next year it's October, so if September didn't work for you, that's okay, because next year it is October. I believe it's 7 to 9 of October. I'd have to double check. Tickets are available, so if you want early bird pricing and to save yourself $100 US, get in now and buy your tickets early. Do I have a link for early tickets? I think I might do as part of Nick's thing. Mod Nick, let me see. Do I have Vid Summit? Maybe not. No, that's you need a /2025 in there somewhere, I think is what you need. Or tickets 2025. I'll find a link that actually works to be able to get you the tickets. But yeah, you can get in early, get your early bird pricing. Totally worth it. And it really is definitely worth just hanging out. You know, like I saw a lot of people like, oh, did you want to see this thing? It's like, actually, no, I'll watch the replay because I'm going to sit here and chat with these people instead. Tickets are already available. They are available. Yep. On that app, on that bot, is it the bot or the VOD or the? Oh my gosh, my brain's just, there's too many things. Social Stream Ninja. Drop confetti. That sounds like the Social Stream Ninja. Livestream consultant says the fajitas, tacos, and pizzas with fellow creators was the best. Yeah, like that's the thing, right? It was the I see you later, legal minded friends with Karen. Have an awesome one. That was the thing for me as well. It was the getting together with the people, and part of it for me was actually getting to meet the team I'm working with, which was really cool. And just being able to meet up, and that was the big winner for me. Was seeing all the people and chatting and having conversations, and that for me is why you go. Yes, the workshops are great, and if you can get in. Yes, the panels and the discussions are great, like go and see them, but it really is the conversations in the halls that can't be replicated. You can go and watch, like when you buy your ticket, that includes a replay. So you can go and watch the replays, like there's no issues. But if you've got a question you need to ask someone, like the speakers, go and watch the presentation and stand up and ask your questions at the end. Like don't miss out on everything. Make sure you pick a few to go and see. So I OBS is only free. There is no paid plans for OBS. You may need to pay for some of the plugins. Do you pay for the plugins on OBS? But the actual OBS itself is totally free. It's $0. $0. Esme says all the plugins that he uses are free, so that's cool. Yeah, all the plugins I've ever used have all been free. Doesn't mean they all are free. I know that Epos Vox has an OBS like academy, so if you really want to dig in and you want really pointed like step-by-step instructions, go and sign up for that. Not free, but it would be like, I've not seen it, but I can imagine from Addie it would be worth every cent that you pay for it. Amazing Yacht Destination says some plugins are paid, but it's mostly free. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. If you're a person who can handle a bit of tech or handle a little bit of software jiggery pokery, go and check out OBS and hit that learning curve, and expect there's going to be a learning curve. And you probably will never need one of these other streaming softwares again, especially if you have good enough internet for bringing in guests. OBS is now pretty much a full package. So yes, in saying that, I do like Ecamm. I like what it does. And I do like some of the others because of just how they set things up and the support. Because OBS doesn't have like an actual support channel. It has got community support. So yeah, there will be different things. Different things will be better or worse for different things. Yeah, I'm just double checking I haven't missed anything here. All right. Did I answer your question okay? Tech for your needs. Was that like, I don't really know. Like, because my experience is different than other people's. So I had a day on registration. So like I spent from lunch till 8 p.m. on registration one day, like when people on the Wednesday when people were coming in to do their things. Then I had like initial days were setting up the convention center, setting up tables, banners, all the stuff. And then I had the position that I was in was up on the 4th floor. So I was looking after sponsors, and there's a sponsor room where the sponsors can just go and sit for 5 minutes apiece. And so I had the key to that room, so I would let people in and out. Well, they could come out by themselves, but let them in to go and just have a minute away from their stalls so they could have, make a call or even just sit and just it'd be a bit quiet for a minute. And so I was looking after that room, but also while I was there, I was answering questions that people had as they came up to my table. It was like a little bit of an information-y table. It was an impromptu information table, but it's turned out that's what it was. I did. Excellent. Thank you. That's good. Yeah, you need to use Discord for support. Yeah, definitely. And that didn't click. There we go. All right. Well, I hope that answered all the questions. And I very much appreciate those of you that did go and smash that buy me a coffee and help me get a bit closer to ditching this chair and getting something that actually doesn't cause me physical pain, so that I can go and upgrade. I'm seriously considering, I know there's going to be some cringe. Are you ready? I'm seriously considering oh my gosh, I was about to say Streamlabs chair. It is not a Streamlabs chair. Oh, far out. What's it? Secret Lab chair. I'm seriously considering the Secret Lab chair. I've looked at some of the other sort of more ergonomic alternatives in Australia. They are ridiculously expensive. And like the Secret Lab chairs, you can't try them first. I think it's obs.org. Let me just double check that for you. Yeah, I think it's obs.org. Doug, can you double check that? OBS project. I definitely have on my Chantelle Hill's website in the recommended page. OBS is there, so you can definitely you can definitely just click that link and go straight there. But I think it's OBS, Project. .org. Is it .org? I don't know. I think it's a .org. I don't think it's a .com. But even if you just Google OBS Project, it's a black icon that just looks a bit weird with a white thing. It's very, very basic looking. But yeah, so not helpful when I can't access the screen I want. There we go. Let me just see if I can just bring this back up. Kind of like a three-sided ninja star. It is. It is. I think that's the whole point, is that's exactly what it is. There we go. All right. I've got the screen back where I wanted. Yay. All right. Curved Ninja Star. All right, let me just, I've got my browser back where I can actually use it, I think. Alrighty. OBS Project. It would help if I knew how to spell project, honestly. Oh, it is. It's obsproject.com. There we go. It is. It's just obsproject.com. Let me just grab that link. I can throw that in here. There you go. Doug deserted us, everybody. We know it because I asked him for help and he couldn't give it. He deserted. Deserter. It's fine. It's fine. It is. It's fine, she says with disdain. There we go. All right, I've got my screens back where I like them now, so that's cool. I'm happy again. So it is a .com. I didn't think it was for some reason, but it is. But it can do so much, and like if you're a Linux user, it's one of the few that you can use on Linux as well. So, yeah, it is. It's .com. It is a .com. For some reason I thought it was a .org, but I'm wrong. Oh, SMA Sky, please keep safe. Seriously, whatever it is that you need to do, just do what, like, get out and do what you got to do. Like, we have some pretty shocking weather here sometimes, and there's a lot of people who don't want to, you know, they think that it'll be fine, and then it's just not fine. Alrighty, well, let me know. Send me a message on Twitter, please. I would very much like to keep on top of that. And make sure you're okay and you're everything's good. Alrighty, boys and girls, lords and ladies of the internet, adieu. I will catch you all here next week using OBS. I'm like gonna have to madly download OBS. And I will hang on a second before I run away. That's an excellent point. While you can download OBS for all the different things, some of the additional features may vary between the platforms. That is an excellent point to make. Excellent point to make. Anyway, I will see you all here next week. Me using OBS for the first time in a long time. I will probably have less hair from me pulling it out, trying to learn something on the fly. And I will catch you all then. Be good now. Bye.